You know how sometimes when you're driving and somebody does something on the road and it irritates you and you get a little bit upset. Maybe you cuss at them or whatever. Uh, or you're on social media and somebody says something or posts something and it really like gives you a little jolt of righteous indignation or self-righteousness in some way. Well, that is becoming a really common source of stress, and it's completely unnecessary. There's a way to do something about it. I'm going to tell you how to do something about it. But first you need to understand that it's not good for you. It produces adrenaline and cortisol, stress hormones that, if you do it once in a while, no big deal. But if it's pretty frequent, it can do things over the long haul, like raise your blood pressure or contribute to heart disease. And it gives you a general state of arousal. I don't mean sexual arousal. I mean just physiological arousal. Like your whole physiology, your whole body is in a slightly elevated, more stressful state, which makes it, of course, easier to get upset by other things, or it's just bad for you. It's just not good for you. And all that's happening is that you are explaining what other people are doing, but you're doing it in a way that gives you a little bit of a jolt of dopamine from a feeling of self-righteousness. Like they're doing this bad thing. You would never do such a bad thing. And it is totally human. It's not just you. Everybody does it, including me. But it gives you a jolt of dopamine, so you kind of want to do it. You want to feel that self-righteousness. But at the same time, it's not good for you. Now, if this was somebody that you knew, who was a friend of yours, who was doing something, that's different. If there's somebody that you work with that's doing something, and you're going to say something about it, you're going to do something about it, that's different. That's really what it's for. That self-righteous indignation is for motivating you to do something. But if you're driving or you just see something on social media, if you're not going to do anything about it, you're only stressing yourself out with no benefit. It's only hurting you, and it's not changing anything or anyone's behavior in the world. So for those circumstances only, you can do something about it. All you need to do is realize that you are making a judgment about somebody else and you don't know. So researchers have found that when you make a mistake, there are reasons for if you do something that you and I have both accidentally cut people off on the freeway or done something erratic or something that probably pissed somebody else off. But we had a reason for it. We were either distracted or we were, in the middle of, an argument with our spouse or whatever. Something was happening, and there was extenuating circumstances. If that person had known what was going on, they might not have been irritated at you. Well, it's entirely possible for anybody that you see doing something that there are extenuating circumstances that if you knew them, you would easily excuse them. So the solution is for you to make up excuses for people. And this is not for people that need to be corrected and that you're in a position to correct. That you actually need to talk to somebody. But if you're not going to talk to anybody, if you're completely at the mercy of it, you're just driving, you're not going to do anything about it, and it's just irritating you for no good reason, then excuse them. Make some excuse for them. Make something up. And you say, well, why should I make something up? That's just ridiculous. Well, you're already making something up. You don't know what their circumstances are. You're assuming they're a jerk. I mean, haven't you been a jerk before? I know you've also made mistakes when you weren't being a jerk, but haven't you also been a jerk before? I know I have. I mean, everybody's been a jerk before where you're just like something hit you badly or you're having a really bad day or whatever, and you don't care what other people think and you're just being a jerk temporarily. But that doesn't mean the person themselves is a jerk. You know what I mean? So you're kind of making up a story, a brief story, but basically your story is that person is just a jerk. He's just a, you know, he's just that kind of person, but you don't know that. So you're already making something up. So I'm suggesting you make up something that doesn't, you won't get the benefit of this little self-righteous jolt of dopamine, but you will get the benefit of less stress in your life. And that's worth something. And all it is basically not judging other people. If you don't have any say over how things are going to turn out, just don't judge them. Make up a story. Give them an excuse. Maybe he's his wife is lying in the back seat bleeding, and he's trying to get to the hospital quickly. That's why he's rushing around like that. Maybe he's not just a jerk. Maybe there's a reason for it. Maybe he's already been late twice for getting to work because his child has been sick, and his boss said if he's not on time this time, he's going to get fired. So he's really rushing or whatever. I mean, you never know. You just never know. So make something up that doesn't stress you out and doesn't make you feel bad. And also, in the meantime, don't judge yourself either. You're human. That's one of the things that humans do. They judge other people. But you can be better. We can all be better.